Oh man. Guys, gals, welcome to Lone Wolf Mountain. Today, this is a random lunch and chat. And it's also coffee time for me. I hope it's coffee time for you. I have a big mug here of Taster's Nasty. Oh yeah. That's nasty, all right. I hope everybody watching this video is doing well. I hope your 2021 is starting off on the right foot. 2021. Those numbers, that doesn't sound right, does it? It seems like we should be all in like flying cars and stuff like that by now. Going back to the 80s when I was a kid, I couldn't imagine then being in the 2000s, let alone let it being 2021. That's crazy. That's just crazy. Let's see what I have for lunch today, everyone. Water, coffee, sandwich, chips, and a whole bunch of snacks. I have some nuts, some applesauce, and a granola bar. Susie, I love you. Thank you. Susie always packs my lunch for me. She will not let me do it. It's not because I don't want to or I can't do it, but the kitchen is her territory, so. I'm sure many of you know exactly what I'm talking about. Your significant other has control of that area. So that's funny. I came out here today to do some filming on some gear. I left the house, it was very windy, got here, nice and calm, but the wind must have followed because it's now windy. In a way, it's slightly frustrating. Driving 100 miles round trip, 1 hour each way to come out here, and I'm not sure if I will do any more filming or not. This is the west side of the mountain, and that's pretty much where the winds come from. They go from the west to the east, they just slam right into the west side here. Also, since we're on the west side, it gets more snow than the east side, so everything here is just covered in snow. There's about 4 inches on the ground here, on the road part anyway. Starting to melt up here at the top. It's a mess. The sun is coming down, it's about 40 degrees, and everything is turning to mud. I love this season for the snow. I hate the season because of the mud. It is awful. Good sandwich. Barbecue chips. Thumbs up. All in all, it is a beautiful day out here. I love seeing the mountains covered in the snow. Today was, in fact, the only day that I could make it out here to film. I've been busy all week. I had a doctor's appointment yesterday. Yesterday was the prime day to film, but priorities, right? Life happens. Tomorrow, we have a storm coming in. It's not supposed to be all that impactful, really, but it's going to snow for roughly 4 days. The forecast, as far as snow accumulation, is pretty light. I don't know. We shall see. It's going to be one of those things where I can't film these type of videos in, so I may get out and do some hiking and film an adventure like that, but we'll see. As long as it's snow and not that mix of rain and snow. That is so miserable to hike in. It's miserable to film in. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see. As for me being at the doctor yesterday, this is something that I wanted to talk with you all about. Since I was a kid, I've always had sinus issues, kind of breathing issues as far as my nose goes. Someone told me a long time ago that I had a deviated septum. And so I've kind of researched this just a little bit. It's a somewhat pricey procedure to have it corrected. Anyways, I wanted to wait until my kids were grown where I can afford it and I didn't have to worry about providing for them so much. My kids are grown up now. So it's time for me to be able to breathe good for the first time in my entire life. Plus, you all know that I like to box. I've been punched in the nose so many times that may or may not have something to do with it. I'm not sure. But yeah, I am going to have the procedure done to correct this so I can breathe good for the first time ever. And I'm so excited. Now, this is a crazy story, folks. I go to the doctor yesterday, we talk about it, we set it up, and I'm talking to the woman who sets up all of this stuff and coordinates it with the hospital. Since I don't have insurance, I'm paying cash for this. So I had to call the hospital myself and give them the codes to find out how much it would cost, because you have the doctor's office and then you have the hospital, and each of these bills are separate, plus anesthesia. So I called the hospital, I give them the 2 codes, and they tell me that it's going to cost $34,000 for 45 minutes at the hospital. 45 minutes at the hospital. That does not include the doctor who's performing the procedure, and that does not include being put to sleep, right? It'll be close to $40,000 to have this done. And you know I can't pay that, right? First off, I wouldn't pay for it out of just principle. So I called the doctor's office, and I was talking to the lady, and I was like, okay, get ready for this. You better sit down. So I tell her, and she's like, oh my God. She's screaming, right? Just screaming. She's like, there is another possibility. We can do the operation here at the doctor's office, but you will not be put under. We can give you like a sedative sort of thing. We can make sure you're numb, and we can do it right here in the office. Go ahead and take a guess as to how much that would cost. Pause this video, comment down below. Over $40,000 at the hospital, or how much at the doctor's office. The only difference is that I would not be put to sleep. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I can have it done at the doctor's office for $1,800, and that includes everything. $1,800, $40,000. I say that out loud and it instantly pisses me off, man. It really makes me angry. That is such... That is the problem with our medical system today. That's nonsensical. That's why you have an average Joe. He has some sort of medical problem. He goes to the hospital and he loses every single thing he's ever worked for. This happens all the time. I see this all the time. My father has been doing construction his entire life, and I've seen it happen over and over with his people. And it just infuriates me. I mean, it's funny, right? But then again, I mean, it's just incredibly frustrating. The insurance policies, which you can get, which we can get, are just pure garbage. They cover absolutely nothing. The deductible alone is out of this world, and that's for a premium plan. It's unreal. It's unreal. If you're someone like me who doesn't have insurance, whatever the reason may be that you don't have it, I feel for you. I mean, we're all in the same boat. If you're someone who has a good policy and it actually works for you, I mean, thumbs up. I'm happy for you. That's awesome. That's just insane. It is. So am I going to do the surgery without being put under? Absolutely. I have no fear about this sort of stuff. I don't fear pain. I'm sure that I'll be doped up to the point where I'm not even sure where I will be at. That should be taking place in roughly 2 weeks. I'm waiting to hear from the individual who will set all of this up as for the date. And hopefully the recovery process will be pretty quick. I know that I will not be able to box for a long time. I'm sure that my nose will be sore for a long time in the healing, and that's got to take place. I was told that if I get punched in the face, in the nose, like it'll just crumble after this surgery. It has to heal. That is what is taking place with me, everyone. I thought I would share that with you all because it's just insanity. It's absolute insanity. I can tell you why the hospital is charging that much, but it's a long story. Basically, it's a game. It's the game that the hospital has to play with insurance companies, and even though I'm paying cash for this, it's still in the system. It's how it works. It's disgusting. Anyways, I just got done filming a video about a very interesting tent. This one's from Jack Wolfskin, which I've heard of this company. I've like browsed past their products before, but this is my first hands-on experience, and I'm pretty impressed. The tent that I purchased is the Gossamer 2-person, which is a 2-person, basically it's a 2-person snug pack ionosphere tent. Everyone seems to like the ionosphere, so do I, but this is a 2-person version. Jack Wolfskin even has a 1-person, which is, it looks like an exact copy of the ionosphere, which is interesting and surprising. Having a 2-person ionosphere, basically, it's not a bad thing. The quality looks good. The setup process is virtually the same as the ionosphere. It's basically the same. I wonder where Jack Wolfskin is even from. Let's look that up, shall we? Okay, yeah, it's from Germany. It's a Germany producer of outdoor wear and equipment. It was founded in 1981, and it's one of the biggest suppliers of outdoor products, and at the same time being one of the most successful within the German specialist trade market of sports equipment. That's interesting. If you have any experiences with this company, please share them down below. I'd love to learn more about their products and quality, so good and bad, share it down below. I do appreciate it. Barbecue chips. Oh yeah, pretty good. It looks like the cold front's coming through. That's why it's getting windy. Clouds are coming. It's supposed to start snowing tonight at some point in time. Possibly even a little bit earlier than that. I can see out there towards the west, it's getting very cloudy. The temperature's also dropping. It's getting fairly cool. I'd say it's back down into the 30s now. It's cold enough where I'm considering putting on my hat and my gloves. I just got a text here from my buddy. Check this out. A friend of mine, he became a truck driver a few years back, and I think he was using someone else's truck as part of his delivery network or whatever it is. Now check this out. Since he's become a truck driver, buddy, I love you. I mean, no offense by this, but he has literally backed into and ran over just about everything, anything ever created. Oh man. He did just buy his very first truck. Brand new, super exciting. Good for you, man. I cannot wait to see it. Be careful, buddy. When you put a scratch on that, you're gonna puke. Oh man. I'm sure it takes time to get accustomed to driving such a big rig. That thing's so long, the turning radius is so big, and then of course backing it up. I mean, even having a trailer on your truck and backing that up, that's not easy. It's not easy at all. I have very limited experience with cruising with a trailer and backing it up and whatnot. I towed a car across the country, that's about my extent really. Went well enough. Luckily I didn't have to back up too much. How's that for a random conversation? Is that good content? I don't know. Now, I do have a question for you all. A week ago, I was out for a storm adventure, and I got some snow in my pocket. And having that snow in my pocket, it melted the snow, it got into the corner here on my phone, and then it refroze and it shattered the glass. When I discovered this, there was actually ice here on the side, and it's not like the glass is just broken. It is literally shattered into like a million little pieces. I had to put a piece of tape over it because all the glass was just flaking off. I got a little piece stuck in my finger. But is that an expensive fix? Does anybody know? I'm going to check in on this. This is an older phone. This is a Samsung Note 9, and I love this phone. This has been a fantastic phone. I'll just keep this thing forever, as long as the fix isn't too expensive. The piece of tape, like, that's pretty rigged up. It's gonna last for a little bit, but it's already starting to peel off. If it's not expensive, I'll get it fixed, and if it is expensive, I guess I'll have to get something else. Personally, I'd love not having a cell phone at all. That would be okay with me. I have no desire to be connected at all times. I think back to like backpacking before there were cell phones and whatnot. If you needed something, if you had to call someone, you had to find a payphone. And if you're in the outdoors in the middle of nowhere, there's no payphone, so you didn't worry about such a thing. You would hike and be truly immersed into the outdoors. There was no beeps, no vibrations, nothing like that. If you've ever spoken to someone who does search and rescue, the creation of cell phones, yeah, I mean, has saved tons of lives, but at the same time, it does give people a little bit of a boost to go do things that they're not really ready for. They put themselves in situations where they have to be rescued, and that's especially true with like personal locator beacons. I've actually heard from a viewer or two who have shared stories with me. They went out, they weren't fully prepared, and had to be helicopter rescued off of mountains and stuff. Pretty crazy stuff, and I'm glad they survived. I'm glad they're okay. But obviously they were not ready for that type of trip, those environments, but yet they went out because they had that device. And as you can see, there's pros and cons to it. What do you all think? Comment down below, share your thoughts. Has technology made us more secure or more reckless, I guess you could say? I'd say it's probably a combination of the two, but By the way, if you had the deviated septum surgery done, I would love to hear your experiences. You can feel free to email me or drop them in the comment section. I would appreciate it. I want to know what it's like, what the recovery time is like for you, and if you had any issues. The guy who's going to do it, the doctor, his resume, his background is very impressive. He's an awesome dude. He really is. I mean, when he walked in the room, I could tell he was military. The way that he carries himself, you can tell that he could put a hurting on you real quick. So after talking with him, I discovered that he was, I think he said Special Forces. Anyway, he mentioned that he worked at like Walter Reed Hospital, went to West Point. The guy is very accomplished, has worked very hard to get where he's at. He has left me with a very good impression. I tell you folks, this really has been a random lunch and chat. I've talked about all sorts of stuff. Hey, that's what this episode's all about. It is random, it's lunch, and it's a chat, it's coffee time. Talking about having this nose thing done, I don't know what the recovery time is going to be like, so I don't know how that's going to impact the channel, to be honest. I'm assuming that based upon what I've been told, like, you all probably won't notice any sort of impact. But there's always a possibility that I will be somewhat limited on what I can do for a while, so we may have to do more like truck camping adventures and stuff, overlanding stuff. So, yeah, we will see. Again, the odds are you won't even notice, but there is a possibility. For this random lunch and chat, that's pretty much it. I want to hear from you all. Make sure to comment down below, share what's new with you, share what's new in 2021, and share your thoughts about everything that I've shared in this episode that I've talked about. Again, if you have any experiences with the nose thing, please let me know. This side is about 95% deviated. In other words, I really can't breathe from this nostril at all. Everyone, I thank you. I appreciate you. Make sure to take care, be safe out there. Take care, everybody. Strength and honor. Wish me luck. I will talk to you all soon. Also, hopefully there will not be any interruptions at all. That's the plan. We'll see how it goes. Bye, everybody. Ah, it's so muddy. That's awful.